Today I'm going to show you how to black border Muddy Puddles Chimps for version 25.1 and up. I will tell you if it is working in future updates in the first pinned comment, and I will also give more information there, so make sure you look at this before attempting. We start with Quincy placed in the placement shown before. It is pretty precise and it may take a few tries, but this placement when he's on first will be around 6, 7, and 8 alone. And then we're going to move on to round 9 with a dart and a sub. Placing the dart and the sub now. For the dart, we want to get him in this corner and just try to get him as high up and to the right as possible. And for the sub, this one's pretty easy. You just need to line it up with that curve. You want to place the dart on last, and it doesn't really matter what the sub is on, but then you want to change them all over to strong for round 10, and we add another dart right here. This dart is also placed on last, and then he goes to strong when the big wave of blues come in, and then we also quickly buy another dart down at the bottom. Round 10 can be a little tricky if you're slow with placing the dart, so as long as you have pretty fast placement, you will get this fine, but you will also get it after some tries if you aren't. Coming back for round 12, this is a round where we have to use an ability. At the very end of this wave of blues, we use the ability and it will clean up all the yellows, and that will be round 12. Round 13, we're just going to want to place down a sniper, and we're going to set him on strong, and that will beat 13 as well. For 14, a sub goes down, and we're going to want to place Quincy on last, so you will hit the big group of yellows and turn them into green so they're slowed down. And then we want to bring him back onto first so he attacks the rest. And then for the second wave of 14, we can just use Quincy's ability and not worry about it. For 15, we're going to have everybody at the top on strong, and the lower sub and the lower dart stays on first, and you want to place another sub mid-round right underneath the first sub at the top, and he also goes on strong. Round 15 will pass, it's pretty easy, and so will round 16, but sometimes stuff gets pretty close on round 16, so if you want to, you can slow it down and change the bottom sub to first if something does get pretty close. Round 17 is nothing, and I'll be back on 18. On 18, we're going to upgrade our sub to longer range and get intel as soon as possible. And then after that, these greens will be held at bay. And then when the big rush of greens come in, we're going to want to use Quincy's ability, and that will clean all of that up. And then on 19, we're going to get another sniper as soon as possible. And he's going to go down at the bottom, so the sub will get intel for the other side. You can place him on strong and just place him on quick. Just place him down quick, and you'll be fine for that. If needed, you can change a sniper to first. In 21 here, we have a lot of yellows, so we're going to want to upgrade our sub to 2-1 as soon as possible, and that will hold the yellow as well. And then after this, it starts to get a little bit easier. For 22, we're going to place a dart at the top for intel, and we're going to place some of these subs on first, just because if you are not targeting some of the yellows, they can slip through, but this round should be fine. And then we're going to go on to 23. That round should also be fine, because we are going to place down another sniper to help out when we get the chance. It's not needed, but on 25 I do recommend using Quincy's abilities on these purples because they do get kind of close. On round 27, we're going to get airburst darts, and then you are set. The subs are really going to rock this game, and after you get airburst, things get much easier. I'm just going to come back on rounds that need a little bit of explaining, or are tougher, or are different from the standard strategy. Notice that something different from this strategy is that I'm going to be getting a crossbow here. This is because it helps beat round 35 without an alchemist, so we can time our shots on round 36, and it also helps with more camo intel, and it also helps beating round 40, which is very nice. For round 36, we're going to buy the Alchemist, and I do recommend using Quincy's first ability for the first wave, but after we get the Alchemist juice on, it is easy. And then from here, it's going to be pretty straightforward, and we're going to use Quincy's level 3 ability just to help take down those sleds. Village placements need to be pretty precise, so just make sure you get them in the right spot, or else your strategy will be messed up a little bit when placing the rest of the subs. On 55, we're going to be looking at this bottom sub and see if he has the Alchemist boost on. If he does not have the Alchemist boost on when the wave is on, you need to use Quincy's level 3 ability, and use Quincy's level 10 ability for the last wave. This will make sure round 55 can be beaten every time. On 59, you just need to be careful with your mortar. You need to micro it so you get every single camo lead on round 59. On 61, we're going to use Quincy's level 3 ability when the balloons start to get past him. And this will make it so you can survive just long enough to beat the wave. And on round 62, we're going to get subcom, and then you are chillin'. So now we're going to start placing the subs. Because our villages kind of have to be in a weird spot, these spots aren't very generous, and I do recommend going into sandbox first before you try this in a real game to make sure that you have the placements down. We're just going to squeeze them in one by one in the order I do it, which will be the easiest way to do it, and you want to really make sure you have them in squeezed all the way and tightly packed before you actually place it, because sometimes there's a little bit more room than you expect. You can also see if it's in the right spot depending on the buff icon, and you want every single sub that will be a 204 sub to at least have the camo buff, because that is what our MIB is going to be, and you need that to kill the GDTs. We're in the 90s, we have to be a little bit more aware of what we're doing, and we're going to have to use a lot of abilities around here and place a lot more towers. So I'm just having the mortar on the correct round every time, so it will defortify everything that comes in. And then we're also going to have to use some abilities on some rounds, like 94. 94 can actually be one of the toughest rounds in this game, because you don't really have all of your support up, and the balloons are coming from a very hard spot, so you want to make sure you use your abilities at the right time during that round. you ever hated DDTs, just look how easy these DDTs get cleaned up. You don't even have to use any abilities on them. '98 can get pretty close, so what I recommend doing is buying an extra 320 alch that is focused on Quincy. This will make his level 3 Rapid Shot a lot stronger, and you also have the extra cash to do it, but don't spend any more than that because we are going to need to buy the first strike capability. We're going to use the Storm of Arrows at the correct time when everything is clumped up to get the most damage out of it, and once that big wave is done, it is easy. Round 99, we're just gonna have to stab him, and that's gonna be fine. And round 100 is the tough one because we're gonna need to time first strike. So instead of just telling you when to use it, I'm gonna show you the range. So this is the latest you can use it, and then I'm gonna show you the earliest you can use it, and then from there we can see what's in between. So this will be the run that will have the correct first strike timing use, and that is when you would want to use it. That is Muddy Puddles Chimps Black Border. I hope you get the black border, and let me know if you do. Have fun and good luck.